And we are live. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another new Comic Book Day previews video. Today, we're going to be talking about all the books coming out for February 9th, 2022's new Comic Book Day. And as always, I got my guest right here. We got Rex from Dynamite Dynamic Forces. So sorry about the late start, but everybody, please welcome Rex.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Ace is already in the house. Hey, Ace. Oh, my God. Ace has been here since 3:59. Thanks, brother. Hopefully he's still there.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if whoever was here backed out. Yeah, that's my fault. Nothing on, Rex's end. It was all me. I got up talking and lost track of time.
I finally got everything working because the last time it was me. I was late getting there because nothing would work. Whenever the IT guy's out of the building, that's when nothing works. Okay, when he's here, he's tapping and he's like, "What's the problem? I don't see a problem." And I'm like, "Dude, it was doing it before. I'm not kidding."
That's how it always goes. That's the same when you take your vehicle to get checked out and you're like, "Yeah, it's making a sound." And they're like, "What sound?" It's like, come on.
Yeah, it never makes the sound when you're at the mechanics. No. And Joel in the house. What's up going on, Joe?
What's going on, Joe? But, as always, we're going to be talking about the new comics. We got some, I'd say overall it's going to be a little bit lighter of a week. There's some books I'm really looking forward to. There's a couple big ones that are already selling. And by a couple, I think at least one, 100%. But, let's actually kick this off with you this time, Rex. Let's get started off on, the Dynamite. I see a lot of really awesome books in the front.
Sounds good. I actually got in here a little late, so I just threw the comics up on the rack. So
no, they look awesome this week.
We got quite a bit of stuff coming out. So we got Jennifer Blood #5, written by Fred Van Lente. And the A cover is, and I know you're a big A cover collector, so that's Lucio Purio. The B cover is Joseph Michael Linzer. Trying to see who else here. Ken Hazer has got a cover on this one. Jennifer Blood #5. I'm a huge fan of his. Then Draculina #1 is coming out with Christopher Priest as the writer. And let me see. The B cover is Rose Besh. Let me see. Ken Hazer does a cover on this one. So I'm glad we've got Ken working on covers for us for our titles. And a bunch of variants, but probably the most notable one, obviously, for me is Ken. Rose Besh, I know. Guillaume March. Let me see what else. And then we have Vampirella Valentine's Day Special 2022. And let's see. The A cover is Sozo Meika, Lee Ritz Lee, Rachel Holland, and then Evil Ernie #3. I know Robbie's become a big fan.
That's an awesome series.
Yeah, Scott Lobdell's writing it, so I love his stuff. With covers from Arthur Sudheim, Philip Tan, and Ken Hazer. So Ken's been busy for us this new comic book day. So that's cool.
He stays busy. And I see the Evil Ernie cover from here. It looks awesome.
Oh, and I have something special pulled for you for tomorrow night. A Stray Dogs Ken Hazer cover sketch art.
Oh man, you might as well not even put that up.
What's that?
You said you might as well not even put that up. I'll just take it right now.
Yeah, no, it's got to go up. Don't be a John. Don't be a John, man. Hopefully John will be here. And I've now decided, hey, JD Barry, what's going on, buddy? I've decided that because John was not with us yesterday, he had something he had to do. But until I'm drawing a line in the sand, Alec, there will be no further Green Hornet items on any show that I do until, you want to guess what the until is? You want to guess, Alec? Taco Truck. Thank you very much. Taco Truck. Okay. And I will make that announcement Wednesday. So you want to be here to join us to see John's reaction when I tell him no more Green Hornet items. Okay. That I'm talking to Nick about CC printing Green Hornet on any level until a taco truck appears in the front of our building.
Oh man, you're gonna break that man's heart.
Dude, I gotta play hardball, man. It's been months now. Is there a taco truck? No, there isn't. So
it really has been.
Yes, I gotta play hardball with the man. Joel says he'll claim the stray dog for you tomorrow.
My man, thank you very much. All right, but let's kick this off. We just got done with some of the Dynamite stuff. We can get back to we can wrap this up with what's going to actually be on the show tomorrow. But as far as tomorrow goes for new comic book day, we got a lot of really cool books. We'll start it off. Let me actually. Ooh, yeah, just like last time. I forgot how I did it. I'm gonna bring it up actually on the screen.
You might want to write that down.
No, I got it right here. It just takes me a second to figure it out. All right, that should be good.
There you go.
Hell yeah. All right. So these are all the books coming out from Marvel. We've got some ASM. I highly suggest the new ASM series, even though this is going to be a tie-in. The tie-ins have been really good too. I think they fit really well with the story. We got Moon Knight issue number 8. That's been a top-notch series from Marvel. Really good. Love the artwork. Storytelling seems to get better by the issue. Devil's Reign, I'm a little indifferent about it. So just casually talking about Devil's Reign, we've got a lot of people have been telling me that's a series that you actually really have to read the tie-ins for. And I tend to stay away from tie-ins unless if they're directly involved with an ongoing series. Like I just got done talking about with ASM. That tie-in definitely would pick up Miles Morales, grab it, but a little Marvel event, they tend to have a lot of tie-ins. And for the most part, I feel like they really don't, have a big effect on the story. However, with Devil's Reign, I've been told otherwise because the last issue, number 3, story didn't make a lot of sense, and they said the tie-ins really affected the story. So if you haven't started it, take that for what it is. Avengers, I'm not reading. Same with New Mutants. Now, this is probably going to be the big one of the week for a lot of people. Now, you guys, actually, I just have to hit that. So you guys already know, not huge into Star Wars. My knowledge really isn't there. But as far as this issue goes, it's not really a first appearance, but this issue is already selling for around $15 to $20. So Rex, I'm sure you got a little bit more knowledge than I do because I haven't seen the Mandalorian.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly, as we're looking at the Mandalorian over there, I mean, clearly, you had some critics when Boba Fett came out, and I don't, the last couple episodes, those watching, I can't even worry about spoilers with the weekly shows now, but clearly, it's become the Mandalorian Part 2. The last 2 episodes have had minimal, if any, Boba Fett. It's all been Mandalorian, Grogu, so it's clear that the popularity of Mandalorian, has stuck. I don't know where they're going to go with Boba Fett. I don't know if this was a planned move that they had already scripted, or they made a hard left turn when they saw that the fans out there weren't really kind of warming up to Boba Fett. I'm not sure, but I would seem to think that this was the plan going all the way, from the beginning. So I get a feeling that anything Star Wars now is going to be something pretty hot, so that might have something to do with it. I mean, inevitably, and you and I have talked about this on previous shows, is that we're in a situation now where, Star Wars, Marvel, even DC, they're cognizant of the fact that the comics and the movies and TV series are all tied together. And if they want to maximize, I guess, their marketing, they want to tie all that stuff together. And I think it's having an effect, Now, whether or not it'll hold its value, we've talked about this on previous shows of yours, who knows? It's the difference between a day trader or, Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. Are you long or are you short? So on a book like this, I would imagine it's, again, I haven't read it, so I don't know, the content was, how the storyline is going. But if it's a solid storyline, the popularity right now of the Mandalorian, I think could help it retain its value. But you and I talked about this as well, is that if your content, and I think specifically Stray Dogs was an example that you had brought up. Mm-hmm. If you're just going for the buck and the content's not there, you're going to lose them. You can only use the hype for so long before you start to lose them when the substance and the content of the story isn't there, so that's the danger. And I think Stray Dogs was a good example of that.
Now, I'm not reading Darth Vader anymore. I think I stopped around 12 or maybe around 14. It was a very good series, but I highly doubt that little baby Yoda and the Mandalorian actually have any sort of anything with the issue. So what this is, so if you guys don't know, so these variants, they're called the Sprouse Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variants. And for the most part, what they do is they also have a second print coming out at some point as well. What they usually do with these covers is it just takes, not like a movie moments, because they have that as an actual variant too for the Star Wars series. They have the movie moments ones, but the Sprouse 50th anniversary ones, they take, popular characters, they take popular things, and it's just kind of throwing it on the cover. And I feel like that's exactly what this is this is exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with the story. It's just a cover appearance of, Mandalorian and the little baby Yoda. I don't even think that's the name, isn't it? Is it Grogu or something?
Yeah, it's Grogu. Yeah.
So Grogu. And the other thing to compare it to is if we can, go back a couple of weeks with the whole time list when you had Miss Minutes on the cover, and Miss Minutes had nothing to do with the issue. I feel like this is probably exactly the same thing. People want it because of the cover, but it doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Well, I think the setup, Joshua Rubio, thanks for saying that, buddy. We really enjoy doing this, and the viewer interaction is really what makes this show special. But Joel says Boba Fett is setting up for a big world war battle. Here's the thing. I think eventually, I may agree with you on the cover point, but I think we're going to see some sort of linkage, tie-in, whatever you want to call it, because you got Obi-Wan right around the corner. That's good. That TV series is getting ready to come out.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and I think that there's going to be, they're going to try to loop it all back together. Putting Mandalorian and Grogu on the cover with a content that really doesn't have anything about him. Yeah, that's a valid point, I think. But the question becomes, are they going to somehow try to tie it all together? Because we know that in the new series Obi-Wan, there's going to be, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, however they present him. So, how you managed to find a way to tie Boba Fett to the Mandalorian. Is there going to be a way that the Mandalorian is going to be tied into this? But then the timeline's wrong. So I don't know. I don't know. But the thing about Star Wars, I think, is that it's probably a safer bet than most in that, they're actively going to pound it. And they're going to try the universe together. And they know there's a lot of eyes on it. So,
and I think that they can 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
So even though if they don't have anything to do with the issue, if you're a speculator or just a big Star Wars fan, I do think that it would probably be a reasonable pickup. Mainly because now I'm not saying that, like I said, this is a first appearance, but now it's made its way to a comic book. Same thing with Miss Minutes. While she wasn't in the issue, it's now, in a comic book format, and they can go forward with that. So they could probably slip this character in here and there, and maybe eventually in the story, because these issues, they have nothing to do with the show and the movies. Well, some of them, I guess, kind of do, but for the most part, they're, creating Star Wars stories. So they can just throw this character in however they please. It doesn't have to do with anything. Yeah.
I mean, the mystery is, where did the Mandalorian come from? Do they introduce the Mandalorian father? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just throwing things out there. But
I was going to say, we got a question for you, Rex, because I definitely can't answer this one. It says, does Mando appear in any comics story?
I don't actually know the answer to that question.
Because is Mandalorian a new character, like from the show? Like, is that a brand new?
Yeah, anything? Mandalorian did not appear in any of the movies. From that perspective, did he come from the comics? That I don't know.
But with that being said, I can only imagine that this has nothing to do with comics then. Like, the Mandalorian wasn't in any comics. But I don't know for sure. I just can't. I mean, obviously Boba Fett was, and I'm sure they had other. My Star Wars knowledge is like nothing.
Looks like they had a title, The Mandalorian. Hold on.
What are these people, like the Mandalorian, Boba Fett? What are they?
They are, well, Boba Fett is not technically a Mandalorian. So Mandalorian is a I don't want to say they're a race of people, but they have a belief. So it looks like, hold on, okay. I'm looking right now, and it looks like Marvel did put out the Mandalorian way back in the day. Let me see here. So this is an established character. Wow, they really do just get all the source material. Let me see. So, yeah, let me see. So, looks like a Star Wars story, Mandalorian, 50 sets. I don't know what that means. All right. So, yeah, it does look like there is. Let's see.
I'll tell you what, I need to watch The Mandalorian.
You do, actually, man. I'm telling you, it's really cool.
I feel so stupid talking about Star Wars with literally anybody, like at all. They say like, "Oh, Mandalorian." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's Boba Fett." No, it's not Boba Fett. It's Mandalorian. They look the same. I don't know.
So hold on, publisher. All right. Well, it looks like they're going to do one.
I would not be surprised if they were going to do one. If anything, this would probably be a nice setup. Like, oh yeah, there's Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, and going forward.
It looks like they've done.
CMA's got some good insight on this one. Mandalorians belong to a certain religion.
Yes, that's a better way of putting it. That's
from a
right.
planet Mandalore from Joel.
I'm trying to find a history on a comic. So they have. Let's see.
So that's good.
So it looks like it started in 2017. Believe it or not. Let me see. Let me just open that up real quick. It's so nice to be able to look at a computer during the show.
Oh, I know. That's why I like to have all these tabs open. I can kind of, just grab quick info on things.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it was published in 2018. So it's not a completely fresh character. I did not know that, believe it or not. But yes, both what Ryan and Joel are saying are true. They are planet of a religion more or less, and there's a coda that they live by, and technically you're not ever supposed to take the helmet off. Although I think it's interesting. So Mandos are a religion of warriors who after their planet was wiped out. That's right, we know that. By the Empire became bounty hunters, as far as I know. So.
See, that's what I knew them as, just bounty hunters, but I didn't know anything other than that.
Well, Boba Fett is not technically a Mandalorian because Boba Fett was, and I don't know if they ever explained how he got his armor, but Boba was the primary DNA donor that made all of the stormtroopers. So he was never an actual Mandalorian, but he had Mandalorian armor. But there is a whole race of Mandalorians, or religion, as our viewers pointed out, which is true, who live and die by the sword. So I kind of see them as space Spartans, if you will. They live by a certain code and things like that. So it's been interesting. I mean, it's really. That's right. That we just found that out. I think the Black Blade was made by the first Jedi Mando. So it's a new storyline for Star Wars, which I think is interesting because it's everything else has really been based on what has previously existed. So I'm excited to see where they're going to take this. But I expect that at least for the time being, the comics most Star Wars titles will probably up in value because of this, because we all know that Disney is going to make a massive push. Marvel's going to make a massive push, because they have so much money tied into the intellectual property. So
I am happy with my shop too, because they people who ordered it are getting it at the regular cover price. That's cool. They are pulling the rest of them, and I think they're actually planning on getting them slabbed.
Which is probably a good idea.
Yeah, but I was talking to a couple people that said that their shop is already going to be charging, I think they said $20 for the cover. So that's kind of crappy.
We've kind of had that discussion as well. I mean,
it's up to the shop. Can't fault them for wanting to make money.
Exactly. And if people don't like it, then the LCS, their business will suffer for it.
Yep.
If people understand it, then maybe it won't. But that's a hard road, you know what I'm saying? But I am never a fan of telling people, a business owner, you can or you cannot do that. If you want to charge, Mercedes-Benz prices for a Hyundai, good luck to you. I don't think you're going to sell any cars.
You, man.
But, I don't think you're going to sell a whole mess of cars doing that. But more power to you. If you think that's a great idea, go ahead and knock yourself out. But I like the market to decide, and if too many people do that and people are like, well, I'm not buying it. Well, guess what? What will eventually happen is the price will plummet, yep. And people that paid for it at a high point, they're unfortunately, they're going to get smoked there. But but LCSs that hold it back, hoping that it'll just keep rising and rising, you could end up with a short box full of worthless, comics that are going to go in the dollar bin before too long, So, but that's part of speculation. You're taking a chance.
Yep. And that's the shop. The shops take most of the hits anyway, and hell, even people with a pull list. I mean, it's kind of scummy, but once you get your pull list, you could literally put the books back. There's no legal obligation that you must buy these. It does make you look kind of bad, and I'm sure the shop is going to look at you a little bit differently, but they're the ones taking the hit. They should be able to sell it however they want.
So if you get a pull list and you don't take the books, then guess what? Maybe the next week or the next month they don't pull it for you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cost option.
The same conversation could be brought up and said where it's like, yeah, maybe for the example, Thor 20 or Thor 21, whatever that last big issue was that was selling for a ton of money, and even Black Panther 3, and then people are getting pissed because the shops are selling it for so much money. You got to think, though, that's the third issue. If that was the case, it would have been on your pull list. So who's the real, kind of scumbag? You getting angry at the shop because it wasn't on your pull list and now you can't make a quick flip, or you're getting mad at the shop for ordering so many and they got lucky that it's selling for a ton of money and now they're doing exactly what they want to do with it. So
and here's the thing, who's to stop? I guess we put all of it on the LCS, but here's a potential scenario. So the comic is on my pull list. I get it for cover price. I take it on the pull list, and as soon as I get home, before I even take my jacket off, I'm scanning it so I can throw it up on eBay at market value. Does that make that collector a bad person? No, it doesn't. But it does put that collector in a position where don't get mad at your LCS if they're doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, because you got a cover price, and now you're trying to jack the price up and get the profit for it. There's no reason why an LCS can't do exactly the same thing. I like that if it's on your pull list, okay, that they'll give it to you for cover price. I think that's the honorable way to move. But as you say, there's no obligation for anybody to do that.
Yep. And hey,
on the barrelhead.
I do want to before I forget, I do want to say one more thing. Is I have to eat my words on this one, where I talked about the Black Panther 3 only because we were talking about it, reminded me of it. And I said, I thought the issue wasn't very good. I don't think the series is very good. And I don't think that character is really worth that money. I think it's a bad spend. I got to take my words back. I got to, rescind that. So I'm changing my stance. While I don't think the prices are still, I don't think the prices are still really worth it. I think it's a lot of money. A lot of people are making the comparison that, this is like Miles Morales, and everybody missed out on Miles. This is going to be a new Black Panther, a brand new Black Panther character going forward. It's a kid. And even me thinking, I was like, I don't think it's that good. I don't think this is worth money. But people just do not want to miss out on it. And somebody brought it to my attention what the name Tosin actually means. It says it has Nigerian origins and it means worthy of worship. So the fact that people are putting 2 and 2 together already, saying, hey, this can be the next Black Panther. This could be huge going forward. The name itself literally means worthy of worship. So by name, there's a high chance that he could be the next king of Wakanda. So I got to say, I apologize. I'm taking my words back. I think I was totally wrong. Would I still spend that money? Absolutely not. I would never spend $100 to $400 on a new comic book day book. But I absolutely do think that Marvel would be stupid to not do something massive with this character in the future. I do think that this could be a new Black Panther for a brand new generation. So I got it. Like I said, got to take my words.
No. And those of you that watch Alec on a regular basis, Alec is painfully honest. He'll tell you what he thinks about something, but if he's wrong about something, he'll be the first one to admit it. And I think that's that honesty, that brutal honesty sometimes, I think is what makes his streaming content so fun to watch, is that you don't want somebody telling you, blowing smoke up your butt. You want somebody telling you the truth. Black Panther, I think, is always going to be kind of an anomaly because of Chadwick Boseman's death, and there's a lot of attention on it. So it's going to be, I don't know, I don't know where they're going to take it, but I do want to warn everybody. There is a danger in early speculation, okay, with comics, specific to comics, and that doesn't really pertain to sports, right? And what I mean by that is the creators, the publishers have a lot of control when you start to speculate before something's actually happened, because they may not have written that story yet, but they see people like that, so it may lean into that direction, or they can lean away from it if they so choose. It hasn't actually happened. But the difference in sports is sports has more of a pure speculation, okay? In that yeah, everybody says this guy's going to be a great rookie. He's going to, like Tua over in Miami. Oh my gosh, this kid's amazing. Okay. He steps onto a football field and what happens? It doesn't happen. Right. So that has more of a kind of a uncontrolled type of situation, because no matter what you may think or analyze, you don't know if this person is going to become, a great football player, a great quarterback, a great pitcher, whatever the sport may be. You're assuming. The difference with comics is that there is a creational control there. So the fact that, okay, we may have printed this one comic and issue number 1, and we didn't print a lot of it, and it turns out that the comic collectors just love it. Okay. That, okay, is speculation on a level where it's not controlled. Okay. But if you're buying something with the anticipation that the storyline is going to go a certain way, that's dangerous. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because if the storyline hasn't been written yet, they could change it. Okay. Anytime they want. It hasn't been created yet. So I just want to mention that if you are, and there's nothing wrong with speculating on comics, but you want to be careful. You know me, I'm a big fan of if you're really looking for an investment that's going to hold its value, you go to golden and silver age graded comics. Okay. There's no guesswork there. It's done. Okay. The supply out there is limited. It is a character that has already established itself. It is a comic that already has demand. Nobody can change that. But something that's coming up, this is comic book, guys. They can change it any way they want.
Easily could. And I mean, just literally in addition to like all the things you said it's so true. Like you said, people may not think much of the character. Hell, speaking of the Black Panther 3 with Tosin, I think I gave that issue last place in my top 10 list. I don't even think I mentioned that there was a first appearance. It truly did just go over my head because it felt so small and so minor. I didn't think twice about it. But then everyone started hyping it up. Everybody started saying all these other things. And maybe that too, maybe the writer did have an idea for this character, maybe based on the name as well, worthy of worship. And maybe that the writer didn't have any idea, but now all of a sudden there's all this love behind it. And it's like, yo, we just stumbled upon something that could be a massive moneymaker for us going forward. So there's always a way to look at it like that.
Yeah, exactly. And Joel has a good point, kind of like how people were specking on Mephisto being in WandaVision. How did that turn out? It's a good
Every single show so far, it's like, oh, that's Mephisto. I love those memes.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And that's the danger in all of this, in that you're anticipating something happening when that something is not due to chance. Okay. It can be very deliberate if they see what's happening, Ryan, Tua is Poopa.
I saw that.
That one. So you have to know what you're getting into. And again, I go back to the 90s. I know we're going over our 30 minutes, but I go back to the 90s when you had that heavy speculation from trading card dealers, sports cards specifically, and the market crashed because they thought, oh my gosh, this is like buying, rookie cards. No, it's not. It's not even close to it. Okay. So really, when you speculate in comics, there are really very multiple levels of it, golden age, silver age, graded or ungraded, doesn't matter. Okay. They hold their value because the value's already been established based on supply that's out there. The character has already established themselves. And there's demand for it. Yep. When you're speculating on a story that hasn't been written yet, you got to be careful with that. You really, really got to be careful with that. You look at Guardians of the Galaxy is another great example. Nobody liked that title, and they put out a movie. Now everybody wants it. That is not a speculation that is based on something that hasn't been written. That was speculation that, hey, we threw this movie out there, and the movie was a huge hit, so now everybody wants the back issues of the comics. Okay, who would have planned that? Okay. All right. I mean, even before the movie was released, when they announced it, we're thinking Guardians of the Galaxy with a talking raccoon in a tree. That's weird. Okay. All right. It was weird in the comics. It's going to be weird on the screen. And then we go out and watch the movie. We're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is awesome. Vin Diesel as Groot. This is fantastic. And then the value goes up. Okay. So, it's really, you got to be careful with comics, man. But again, I'm not discouraging anybody from speculating. I don't think Alec is either. We're just talking about, there are many layers of it, and you got to be careful with it, especially stuff that hasn't been written or hasn't been published and printed yet. You kind of just got to be a little bit careful. But
100%. Not tell you what, if a couple of those issues fell in my lap for like $20 to $40, I'd probably take it, even 50. I'd probably take a chance and maybe buy 2 or 3. I really would.
Sure.
And that's for a new comic book day book that came out literally, I think, last week, maybe 2 weeks ago at most.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, if the Powerball ticket, if the Powerball jackpot gets up to a certain amount, you blow $20 on Powerball tickets, and I guarantee you, there's a much higher chance that issue is going to rise in value than you winning the Powerball jackpot, right? I mean, I think I read somewhere it's like your odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are even slimmer than getting struck by lightning like 200 times or something like that. It's
that'll never happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's fine. And listen, if some rich dude has $600 to blow on it, go ahead, knock yourself out. It makes you happy. But we always say this: buy what you love to read, buy what you love to collect, buy what you love to, you like the art, whatever it is, that subjective kind of thing that you like, do it for that. Okay. If you do it purely for speculation, just like everything else in life, more times than not, you're probably going to end up getting burned.
Hey, and that's why I buy all these hardcovers,
There you go. Until you move and you have to pack them up. And
I did it. And I did do
it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you don't feel like moving again for a long time, do you?
Never. See, like even with Moon Knight, those issues, to be honest, really nobody cared about Moon Knight until they announced the TV show. Like, it's a character that not a lot of people cared about. It's like they want a good Moon Knight series, but it just never really happened. So now those first issues are so much money. Hell, I literally just bought the Omni Moon Knight Volume 1, got it for $82 after tax and shipping, and I didn't crack it open yet, but that's like almost the whole first series of Moon Knight. So now if I want to, I can read it, and I don't have to worry about spending $100 on an issue that I'm kind of scared to touch,
Right. Yeah, I agree. So, hey, listen, at the end of the day, whatever you do, if you're having fun doing it with the comics, that's the whole point. I mean, people go to Disney, people go to the amusement park with the, highest roller coaster, and you blow a boatload of money and you pay, $9 for, a slim little burger with one slice of American cheese while you're there. But guess what? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Then it's money well spent,
I always think that too. And I'm going to be honest, I feel really bad because this is good conversation and we did start even a little bit late. But I do have to get going. This time it's on me. It's not a Dynamite work-related thing either. It's on me. However, in 20 minutes, I am going live on Whatnot under LV_comics. I'm going to put it in the chat right there. Follow that on Whatnot. We've got a lot of really cool stuff going up tonight, going live at 5 o'clock. That's the only reason I got to cut it a little short.
No problem. Listen, we can continue this conversation tomorrow.
Hell yeah. So, and, speaking, like you said, tomorrow on The Experience, 6 o'clock. Always
6 to 8 Eastern time. So, but and if you get time and you have some time this afternoon, check out Alex LV Comics show on Whatnot.
Yeah,
as always, it'll be great.
Everything always starts off at $1. Slabs are now starting off at $1 too. And what was I going to say? It's a lot of fun. And Thursday we're doing our big 1,000 follower giveaway. We just hit 1,100, I think, 2 nights ago.
Nice.
And we're going to be giving away a ton of free stuff. Shop's really excited about it. I'm too. So like I said, check us out on Whatnot. It's a lot of fun. We also do Pop Funko and Pokemon cards, and we're live literally like every single day all the time. Super quick before we head out, what's the process to be a seller on Whatnot? Apply for it and hope for the best. They are insanely
I do know they're backed up right now. Yeah,
I know people who are still waiting 7 to 9 months to get approved. So yeah, they're backed up.
So, but that may not be a good thing. That means they got more stuff to do than they have time to do. So that sometimes can be a very good thing. So
I agree. And on that note, thank you, Rex, as always. I know you're a very busy man, so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. I love doing it. And everybody in the chat right now, you guys are all awesome too. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for the chat, we probably wouldn't keep doing this because you guys help make this show. It's not just us hosting it. You guys also are a big, important part of it too. And see you tomorrow on The Experience. All the links are down low in the description. They already gave us a little spoiler about what's going up, so I'm excited. And it's going to be a good time as always. Thank you again, everybody.